lay back and crack this window. I've been doing my best, taking a moment to rest, feeling stressed out. Give it a good, I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go home with the negativity, with that broke mentality. Jump on jealousy, my bad. Get away from me, 'cause I've been working all day. Can a nigga catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, better way. Oh, Mom and Dad's only daughter, do I make you proud? Writing my life in lyrics, do y'all like the sound? Seeking approval constantly. When it's my truth I own, I speak it, don't make sense now. Give it a good, put that on good when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go home with that. Jump on, my bad, 'cause I've been working all day. Can a nigga catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. 'Cause I've been working all day. Can a nigga catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, nigga catch a break. Better way. Oh, hey.
NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, closed fists, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real, jumping like hopscotch. Nobody harder than, oh, nope, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Dano be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Let's get it, man. A beautiful Monday. About 10 minutes after 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Broadcasting live from beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio, city of my birth. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. What's up, family? What up, choppers? Let's chop it up. Now, if you live in the city of Cincinnati and you haven't looked outside your window, let me just let you know, rain, 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 and more rain, but I loves it. I loves it. Good morning to you. Great to be alive. Start off the work week. Whatever your goals are, you will accomplish them or at least get closer to them this week. I know it. I can feel it. Good morning to you. Let's get back into it. Let's feel the flows this morning. Good morning. Please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. I mean, quite frankly, when you share the show, more people see it. You know, I'll just keep it real with you. That's just what happens. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Hope your weekend was doing well. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Why is she calling me live on the air? Why am I getting a phone call like people don't know what time the show start? Good morning to you. Hold on one second. I got to move some things around here real quick. Hold on. Sorry about that. Got a bunch of things going on, man. We got a bunch of things going on this morning, and I want to try to make sure I get it all in. It's a lot to cover this morning, but let me put the cam up. Hey, good morning. This is me. Welcome back. Welcome back to the studio. Hold on one second here. This is something that's a little bit off on my end. That'll irritate me to no end if I don't change it. Just very slightly. There it is. Just ever so slightly. Just small things. Hey, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. You didn't notice it, but I did. Let me handle this. I got it. Good morning to you. Listen, on today's show, we got a lot of ground to cover. I want to give you a non-spoiler review of the Batman movie. I got a chance to see it with Medium Buddha. That's our thing. We like the comic book world, sci-fi kind of movies, even horror movies. That's our thing. We went to go see the movie. I waste my time and money so you don't. Is it worth your time and money? Well, I'll share with you in just a couple of minutes a non-spoiler review, which in a very non-spoiler way, I'm going to talk about the movie in a way that might either entice you or turn you off in terms of wanting to check it out. But stick around. Even from the black perspective, we got to talk about it from that perspective as well. Good morning to you. Again, 513-873-7134. I'm scheduled to get a Zoom style call from the vice mayor this morning to talk about some very important issues that are before city council. Okay, everybody was talking about making some moves when it comes to housing. We don't have enough affordable housing. Housing is an issue. Well, boom, members of city council step up with some ideas, but are these really good ideas? Will they have the intended consequences? We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Also, on Thursday, we had a really intense conversation about a viral video. And this video was of a black man. He has his own show on YouTube and on social media. And he was challenging, basically not challenging. He says he believes that single motherhood, single parenthood is equal to failure. Y'all may remember this on Thursdays. Women was, listen, the single moms, the professional single moms, they was at my throat, but I didn't say it. Well, the man behind the video, Mr. Let Go, is scheduled to give us a Zoom style call in about 15 minutes. So stick around for that. Should be interesting. Again, I just jumped into his role to stir the pot. He can speak for himself later today. So a lot of stuff to talk about. But let me get to the Batman. Now, when I do reviews, I always do reviews the same way. Because not every movie is for everybody. Not every movie is for everybody. Not everybody likes those kind of movies. If you don't like superhero type of movies, that ain't your thing. It don't matter how good the movie is or how bad it is. You're not going to go see it. I already understand it. I'm not trying to convince you. Let's put it that way. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just here to give you a strong opinion. That's it. I just want to give you a strong opinion. I did go see the Batman. Now, let me check it out. Over the years, I grew up watching the Batman and all this kind of stuff. That's my wheelhouse. And some of those movies have been better than others. How does the latest Batman, the Batman movie, fare? Well, what I would say is that if you are into this genre of movies, it's definitely worth your time. Like, if you're somebody who you like the Batman DC series, if you like the comic book adaptations, you're going to like this. This is a different kind of Batman movie. This ain't nothing like any of them. The closest that I would give it to it would be The Dark Knight. That would be the closest comparison. Very much differently. I mean, gone are the days or the super silly, over the top slapstick comic book type of Batman iterations. This is something that's much more dark and much more cinematic in the way that it's shot, and a bit different. Now, the Batman this time around, it stars Robert Pattinson, and there's no reason in the world why any grown man should know who that is. Okay, I'd be suspect on you, right? Robert Pattinson was in a series of movies called Twilight. Trash. Can anybody tells you trash? Trash. Not for me. Not my thing. I think I saw about this much of it. I was like, ooh, I've seen enough. However, his portrayal of the Batman is very interesting. It's very different. Very different. Gone are the days of like the whole Playboy thing. He's much more introspective, brooding, dark, full of rage and pain. A little bit different. Zoe Kravitz is in the movie. She plays Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman, and her Catwoman is a billion times better than that trash they had Halle Berry doing. Why they be playing Halle Berry? These trash ass movies, the worst movie of all time. The Catwoman, you ever see this crap? Don't even waste your time. It's not worth a second of your time. Not even worth a second. However, I will say that Zoe Kravitz is very easy on the eyes when she's on the screen. Very easy on the eyes. She plays Selena Kyle. Kyle, if you don't know, she is the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz, who's like a big time rock star. He's probably somewhere laying in between two models, drinking a daiquiri, making some new music right now as I speak. Paul Dano plays the Riddler. Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, and you wouldn't even recognize him, including his voice. And there's black people in the new Batman universe, prominent roles. Matter of fact, I saw a video of a white YouTuber that was doing a review, and he was all in his feelings. He said he didn't like the movie because it was too many black folks in the movie. What can I do? We can't save all the babies. You just got to save the ones you can save. So, yeah, you got Zoe Kravitz, who is black, and you have Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright plays Commissioner James Gordon. If you know anything about the Batman history, James Gordon and Batman have teamed up over the years to fight crime in Gotham. This time around, played by Jeffrey Wright, does an excellent job. I think all of the casting was very, very strong, in my opinion, each and every one of them. A lot of strong performance. I think what really sets the movie apart is the way it sounds, the way it looks. It's very cinematic. There's a lot of Easter eggs and clues in it, but a lot of them are very cinematic, throwbacks to, other movies, and then like small things that you might not pick up in the movie the first time around. YouTube is full of these kind of things where they do like spoilers and Easter eggs. If you're into that kind of stuff, you should check it out. But I would go see the movie first and then make your own decision. If I was giving it a grade, I would grade it as right now. I'm comfortable with an 8 out of 10. I'm very comfortable with that. If there's more to it, I have to see it again to really, really break it down. But I would definitely give it a solid 8 out of 10 and on the superhero scale. And if you are into these kind of movies, if you like this kind of stuff, I think that you'll like, and you're an adult, right? Like you've grown up watching some of the other Batman movies. I think you'll like it. Paul Dano as the Riddler is absolutely hilarious and maniacally crazy at the same time. And his performance as the Riddler is only bested by the legendary performance of, is it Heath Ledger when he played the Joker in The Dark Knight? I mean, come on, that's just the top. That's 10 out of 10 right there. Like, will there ever be a better super villain portrayal than what Heath Ledger did. I mean, he just killed it. I mean, that's classic forever. 10 out of 10. Paul Dano is very close. He's very close. Doesn't have the screen time that the Riddler had in that first. I'm sorry, that the Joker had in that first, the Dark Knight movie. But his Riddler interpretation is different. It ain't that slapstick, goofy ass. I mean, this guy is something like the Zodiac Killer. If you might remember that, and you know, it calls into that. Very dark, very adult, very brutal, and super crazy. I did have some critiques. The movie's not perfect. There's a couple scenes where I'm like, meh. There's a couple scenes like that. There's a couple scenes where I'm like, oh man, this is dope. If you're into that kind of thing, like not everybody get into it, but if you can get into these kind of movies, there's a couple scenes that you'll really get into. There are a few things, it could just be me, that I wish would have been better. There's at least one thing that Robert Pattinson could have done, and which, by the way, I mean, who thought that he could play the Batman? I mean, is he better than Christian Bale? He's much better than Christian Bale. And that was from The Dark Knight. Let me see here. I would say that as Batmans go, as the actor who portrays Batman, I would say that in my opinion, of all of the movies, what you had? Ben Affleck, you've had the man I just mentioned, Christian Bale. Who else? You had, what was the guy's name from way back in the day? I can see his face. Anyway, I would say he's better than all of them, quite honestly. I would say as the Batman portrayal, and again, it's not that he had a whole lot of scenes. It's just the production of it, the script, the way that it's portrayed. It's just different. It's different in a way that I like, because it's very dark and I think very cerebral, much more cerebral than some of the other Batman and movies and portrayals. And I'm just wondering if you'll get into it. Maybe you already seen it. 513-873-7134. So that's my non-spoiler Batman review. Is it worth your time? Yes, it is. If you're into this kind of stuff. If you ain't, if you're like, I don't really like those kind of movies, then you're not going to like it. So don't waste your time with it. But if you're into it, there it is. You can get into it. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. The runtime of the movie, I think, is nearly 3 hours. It felt like 2 hours to me, though, you know, because once you get into it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm into it, right? Once it gets started. And the usages, the way that they use sound, in particular, the footsteps of the Batman is very interesting, kind of different. Kind of reminds you, at least in his first portrayal, like the first time you see the Batman in this movie, it reminds me in ways that are very intentional. It reminds me of like the first time you saw Darth Vader in the Star Wars movies, in a lot of ways, in the way that the scene is shot, but also in the music that they're using as well. You got to check it out for yourself. But to me, I'll give it a solid 8. I'll give it a solid 8. I might even go as high as 8.5, but I think I need to see it again just to sharpen my thoughts on it. The man who plays Alfred is Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis has also played the man who killed Black Panther's father, right? In Black Panther, right? What was that character's name? The Claw? Same guy, but different in this way. Still got the accent, but different. And this is more of a whodunit. This is more of a whodunit. But it's interesting. Again, if you're into that, there it is. That's my non-spoiler review. A solid 8. But what do you think? Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Kelly writes, good morning. Anthony writes, morning, chop shop. Eloise is in the house. She writes, good morning. Happy Monday. David writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Let me give you a heads up. So on Thursday, unless the time changes, at this point I haven't been notified that, but you do know there's a U.S. Senate race that's going on. And there's 2 Senate candidates. One is a Republican, the other is a Democrat. I've been asked to be the moderator, and I am amassing my questions right now. The event is going to be on Thursday. I don't know where it is yet. I don't know where. I think that's still. Hold on one second. I don't know where it's going to be at. Hold Hold on one second. I don't know where it's going to be at. As soon as I do, if you're interested, maybe you can come check it out. I think it's going to be at one of these churches around here, like a white Christian church or something like that. I think they told me. I'm not sure. I'm just doing it for the culture and to press these candidates in a way that perhaps nobody else will, and to have some fun with it. But if I'll be putting something on Facebook and the friends page. If you got questions, any questions you might have for a U.S. Senate candidate from Ohio, let me know. Perhaps I can use it. Hold on one second. Let me see here. Yeah, I overbooked, and I'm just realizing that people are listening right now. All on me. But I did have a previously scheduled guest. Totally slipped my mind. And I should be Mr. Let Go. I figure we're talking about 30 minutes. Y'all let go on me for the things he said. So I reached out to him and invited him to come on the show. He can speak for himself. You tell me. Good morning to you. Cass writes, hey, Choppers. Good morning to you, Cass. The Melanin Insights podcast will be back later this month. I believe on the 27th. That's the last Sunday of this month. I'll give you a heads up. What's up, iMac815? Good morning to you. Jericho writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. Johnny Kimmins writes, good morning. I went over to the Warner Hills High School basketball tournament game. It was over at the University of Cincinnati's stadium on the campus. And, man, the Eagles, they put up a good fight. I ran into Dunny Isaacson, who's running for state rep. Ran into him. Ran into Brother Powell. Ran into Brother Powell as well. Always great to see people. But we had great seats. Got a chance to watch the game. It was a close game. There was a brother who missed a layup at the end of the game. I don't know the young man's name. I believe he's a senior. And I can imagine being down right now. You let the team down. But the one thing I would say to that brother is at least you took the shot. You know, failure is not missing the shot. Failure is not taking the shot. At least he took a shot. You know, some people wouldn't even take the shot. They wouldn't even be on the court. You know what I'm saying? But they lost, I think, by 1 point. I think they lost by 1 point. And, you know, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Let me see here. Hold on. We got a lot of things percolating right here. I want to make sure. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second here. I want to make sure everybody has the information they need to get into the show today. Ooh, hold on 1 second. I'm like trying to do too many things at one time. Hold on. Oh, boy, let me see here. That's not it. Okay. Hold on 1 second, folks. All right, here. So I'm trying to manage a bunch of things. I got a couple of guests. It was on my phone. My wires are crossed here. So I'm managing two different guests and trying to make this all happen today. So just please bear with me just a second. That's what the silence is. Sorry about that. Good morning to you. Primarily to my people that's on the audio side of things, because you can't see anything. The people on the video side can see me like on my phone and see what I'm doing. So there's some interaction there. But just to my audio folks, people, that's what's going on. Mika writes, good morning, choppers. Happy Monday. Brandy writes, greetings. Anthony writes, like and share. Pat writes, good morning, choppers. Deshauna writes, good morning, Nathan all. Kush writes, good morning, Nate, and the mighty choppers. So there it is, my non-spoiler Batman review. If that sounds like something that you might be interested in, you should check it out. You should definitely check it out if you're into that Batman type of stuff. If that's not your wheelhouse, I keep saying it. Like if you're like, I hate these kind of movies, but Nathan said it was 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna go see it, and you hate it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. This is just my impression, right? From the superhero genre. From the superhero genre, right? Because you can't compare like a superhero movie to like, I don't know, The Color Purple, right? You can't do, or Malcolm X, two different type of movies. But from the superhero genre, it's probably one of the better superhero movies that I've seen in a long time. It's by far the best Batman I've seen since Dark Knight. And what made Dark Knight so dope was, in particular, like it was a lot of stuff, but it was the portrayal of the Joker, which, by the way, there's a new Joker to get a little snippet. Stay toward the end. There's sort of like a post credit kind of thing, like end of movie credit, not credit, but scene that you want to see from the Arkham Asylum, where they introduce what looks to be a new Joker character. He looked hideous from the shadows. Again, if you're into that kind of stuff, worth your time. Check it out and tell me what you think. Or maybe you've already seen it and tell me what you think. I don't know. 513-873-7134. TC's in the house. Good top of the morning, choppers. Good morning to you, TC. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Nat's in the house, good morning. Iman Pearl, your brother pal, he writes, good to see you at the Warner Hills game. Go Eagles. Absolutely, go Eagles all day, every day. They came a little bit short. It was a hard-fought game. It wasn't like they got blown out. They just came up, a bucket short. And they had their shot. They got some prospects on that team, too. They got some prospects on that Warner Hill team, maybe on both sides. But it was good to see the fellas out there balling. Let me see here. It's good to see the fellas out there balling. And hold on one second. Okay, got you. Hold on one second here. Trying to connect with these guests. Give me 1 second. There it is. All right, great. All right, so I just sent a message to my first guest, and again, I had this set up over the weekend, even before the weekend, actually. Okay, great. I think he's got it. Daryl writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Good morning to you. Okay, great. He said he got it. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. I think we're set now. And I may have to reschedule my second guest, but we'll make it work, hopefully, because there's some stuff that's going on that we must talk about for sure. Hold on, let me find this video for you again, because some people might have missed it. We spent some time talking about this back on Thursday, and man, I get it. I could understand why people were upset, outraged, maybe even felt disrespected. I get it. Believe me when I say that. I still think that, okay, great. So it seems like everything is falling into order. So it looks like I'm awaiting Mr. Let Go to come into the show right now. And then we'll speak with Jen Michelle Lemon Kearney at 9 a.m. So tight framework, but we can make it work. Jared writes, he better be ready to feel some heat. I got a chance to talk with the brother. I don't think he worried about it. I think he can articulate himself, articulate his opinion, should I say. So I see he's lining up backstage. I don't see his video yet. When I do, then we'll bring him on. Jerome writes, good morning. Nate and the Choppers, good morning to you. Hey, good morning. Thank you for being here. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. What's going on? Am I alone? Anybody else go chance to see the Batman over the weekend? Good morning to you. What's up, Lemmy? What's up, Crystal? Hey, Rosemary. What's up, Chris? What's up, Tracy? Everybody should watch Inventing Anna on Netflix, 5 stars. I'm aware of the real story. This woman was a con artist. It looks interesting. Chris Rice, good morning. Jared Rice, anyone see Tucker Carlson says he needs to know Judge Jackson's LSAT score? I did see that. He's absolutely ridiculous. Because a black woman, you know, we have to show her qualifications with black people in general. She's just not qualified enough. That's why. So we got to look at her LSAT scores. I don't give a damn about no LSAT scores. Who cares? TNT writes, good morning. Tracy writes, Michael Keaton, way better than Michael Keaton. Adam West, Michael Keaton, all them guys. I mean, it's hard to say because the dude from Twilight, I'm like, ain't no way he could ever do it, but he pulled it off. He definitely pulled it off. And to me, I would take him over Ben Affleck. I would take him over all the Batmans. Christian Bale. Line them all up. I'd take this guy. Reggie writes, Adam West. Adam who? Adam what? Jim Carrey played the Riddler last time. The new Riddler is that's a kid's Riddler. You know, he's making jokes and funny stuff with his face and a contorted neck and all this kind of stuff. The new Riddler is where it's at. Okay. Hey, what's up, Mr. Let Go? Can you hear me, bro? See, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, he can't hear me. All right. So with no further ado, let me bring this brother on. Mr. Let Go. What's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Thank you for your time this morning.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So, man, listen, as I told you when we spoke just briefly over the weekend, I became aware of a video. So you do a regular like YouTube show. It's on Instagram as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the dates and times if people want to check out your show? Where can people find you?
Well, I would just say subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is simply Mr. Let Go, MRLETGO. I go live. I don't specifically have a time on the show, but I go live probably about 3 times a week. Okay.
How long you been doing it?
YouTube about 1.5 years, but I'm actually a coach. So I've been a coach for about 4 years.
But a coach for 4 years. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, you talk about dating topics, you know, you talk about motherhood, you talk about the black community. Is that pretty much your wheelhouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
My particular purpose is to help end the fatherless child epidemic and to promote marriage. And a lot of times, one of the factors of the fatherless child epidemic, you know, when it comes to women, they get upset and they're just like, oh, you can't say this and that about women. But at the end of the day, single motherhood is almost at 80%. I think it went down a little bit, but overall, is 80%. And when something is at 80%,
be successful, because I didn't need.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, when something is at 80%, it's not a mistake. It's something purpose. Something is being done on purpose. If anything is at 80%, if you do it, if you take any type of test, no matter, I don't care if you're trying to be an astronaut and you ain't studied to be an astronaut, you're gonna get more than a 20 on the test. You get what I'm saying? So when you get a 20, like something is going on purpose. Does that make sense?
I follow you. Yeah. Let's do this, man. For people that might have missed the video, let me play this clip of the video, and then I want to get your thoughts. And then I can almost predict there's going to be some questions from the audience. But let me play this. If you missed the original conversation, the original video, check this out.
My husband, I was already successful and up before I had him.
What are you talking about?
You don't need a husband to be successful. Not at all.
What does successful look like, boys?
Happy in your own skin. Happy with the person that you are, and love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by a successful female. Because success can look in any other
successful
way.
female going to have children?
Yeah, she may
Yes or
have
no?
children. She may have children. She may.
So it's part of being successful with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how can you be in this, what you just painted out to be successful without being married, and you have a child in this scenario? So without
The child has nothing to do with that scenario.
Children has everything to do with that scenario. So when you said a woman can be successful and not get married, when you add a child to that, she is no longer successful. She is now a single mother. And being a single mother is not success. Single motherhood is failure. A child, a family comprises of a man and a woman, not a woman. If you are a single mother, there is a certain amount of failure. And I'm sorry to say this, but we got to stop this shit. We have to look at life the way it actually is instead of what y'all asses want it to be. For you to.
So let's just jump right back into it, man. I mean, that was the video that kind of sparked the flame. What kind of response did you get on your side from that video?
I would say the typical reaction, because it's gone all kind of places. Different people have sent it to me that reposted or whatever, and I don't want to say the word typical because I don't want to be condescending, but the average reaction is two things. One, what about men? There's always something about what about men, something about men, right? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, why can't women be successful? So those are like the average responses, like, whatever, without the paragraphs and stuff like that, the sentiments.
Mm-hmm. What I got was, and I think
or
I tried my best
or something crazy like that. He's a narcissist, something like that. But other than that, yeah.
Well, I got a couple things, man. I got women who said that you got a problem with successful black women because one sister was like, look, I have a
problem with single mothers.
Okay. Well, one woman said, when she was saying, when you asked the sister what's successful when she was running down her list, I think everybody agrees it makes sense. Loving yourself, you don't need a man. And somebody was like, well, why'd you even ask her a question about children? Somebody people felt like you were trying to set her up. Then I also heard, well, what if it's a toxic relationship? She's supposed to be abused just to keep a man in the house. What would you respond to that? How would you respond to that?
Okay. This is the thing that's just weird to me. Okay. Say, let's talk about, and I don't want to get off the subject, but say, us as men being successful is, as an example, we'll just make an example, having a real nice car, right? Having a Mercedes or something, right? A Bentley, right? That is a level of success. If we met up and I pulled up in a Bentley, I don't have a Bentley, you would be like, all right, this dude is really successful, right? But if the Bentley broke down and is sitting in my yard, well, just because I have a Bentley doesn't mean I'm successful. The Bentley is broke down and is sitting in my yard like, a hood person. Well, that's no longer success. So I literally said, and I said it repeatedly in a video, but a lot of times folks just want to hear what they want to hear. If you have children, a family comprises of a man, woman, and child, not a woman. So if you have a child and there is no man present, find you another man. Just like I would have to buy another Bentley, or either I'm no longer successful because of the Bentley. So at the end of the day, it makes no sense to just sit here and say, well, what if the man is, well, get another man. Like, how many women have you had? You've had more than one woman in your life, right? Get another man. Like, if your marriage falls apart, get another husband, just like with me. I love my ex-wife, but our marriage ended. So I'm looking to get another wife. And if that marriage ends, for, hopefully it wouldn't, because that would be terrible, but I would get another wife. We in life, if your job doesn't work out, you get another job. So from a money standpoint, say in a scenario where she doesn't have kids, well, you can't really be successful if you don't have a job, you don't have a business, and you don't have any money, and you're not happy, right? So in this particular scenario, you either gotta find more happiness, get a new job, start a new business, or so at the end of the day, if your marriage it failed, well, you gotta pick up the pieces and work on find another husband. Just like with me, pick up the pieces and find another wife. So no, you are not okay. The second thing, there is a level of failure in my life because my marriage ended. Nobody's saying anything about that. And I said that in that video. I said, and I had to put it on myself also. I wasn't living in the house with my kids, when they got older because my marriage failed. So at the end of the day, there's a level of failure in me also. So it's not just about the single mother this or woman not getting married. A family, my ex-wife remarried. So our family, I'm now her extended family because, I'm my kid's father. Her household is back a family. Because why? She went and found another husband, just like the rest of these women can easily do if they focus on themselves instead of just spitting out more kids. And that's the issue I have. Women see like success in their lives by having a great job, making some good money, and raising a kid alone. And that is failure.
So you're saying it's not just a gender thing. It can be a man too. It can be you.
If it's a single father and if she passed away, it is what it is, or if they divorced. But at the end of the day, his job is to vet another woman and put together a new family. Just don't get anybody, but vet another woman, date another woman, and pick up the pieces and provide your child with a mother figure if his or her mother isn't around. It's our job as human beings to give our children a parent or a new parent.
And so what was the circumstance with the sister on the video? Like, you guys were having a conversation, you invited her on. Do you know her? Was she a member of your audience? Like, what was the gist of that?
Okay, this is a woman that she kind of like her name is Voice Morris, and she is I think she's a singer or something like that. And we were cool, and we would do, she'll come on a live and we'll have a this isn't the only live we actually did together on Instagram. My other Instagram page was disabled or whatever, and I started all over, so it's not up. But overall, we were cool, but at the end of the day, videos like this kind of showed that we have a totally different view on life and all that stuff.
Okay.
But overall, she wasn't talking about her. We were just talking about like women in particular, because I think she's married. I'm not exactly sure. I think because some people would say they married and they not married, but they been together so long. So I'm not sure if she's legally married or she just calls her man her husband. I'm not sure. I don't know the woman well enough to be able to vouch for her because I don't know. But yeah, we did a couple lives together, but we weren't really friends. We were just like, it's like if me and you do like 3 more videos together like this, we kind of like cool, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
I get it. I get it. Man, it's a lot of questions and a lot of comments coming in about you, man. Somebody wants to know, so how do you define success? Daryl wants to know, ask him how he defines success and failure.
Okay. With kids or without kids?
I would both.
Okay. Well, without kids, it would be whatever you want it to be within your life. If you wanted run a marathon, or you wanted to climb a mountain, get to the top, that's success. If you want to make a lot of money, if you get that, that's success. But when it comes to a man or woman with kids, now you have another life to tend to and to be responsible for. So when it comes to success, when you have kids, is a married couple, and a happily married couple, a healthy married couple, a loving married couple. So that's the main thing, because when you have kids, your success is predicated on their lives, not yours. Because you can have all kind of money in the world, but if your child thinks you're a terrible mom or dad, you're not successful at all. Because your child, because I said also in the video, your child needs to be asked, are you successful? Do they feel like they're successful as a child? Because a lot of children, especially in single mom homes and in married homes, sometimes they can have abandonment issues. They can have all kinds of issues because they're not getting the love they need. Parents could be emotionally unavailable, bills, the divorce, and something's going on where they aren't even thinking about the child, and the child is just sitting there like, all right, this is some bull crap. So at the end of the day, if you have children, a huge part of your success has to be your place in their life, not your place. Their place in your life. Because a lot of people look at, being a parent is, oh my God, my kids, I love my kids, but do they love you? That's the thing. A lot of kids feel like, does my mom or does my dad really care about me? So that's the success that we all as people need to pay attention to. Does your child see you as successful? Does your child see themselves as successful due to the family structure? Is there a family structure?
Now, what about this though? Like, what if, you ask that question and you got a single parent household, and the answer from the child is, yeah, I see myself as successful. I'm happy with my mom or my dad, depending on who the parent is. Mm-hmm. Does that mean despite the fact there isn't another parent there, let's say a man or a woman, depending on the situation, that is still success and not a failure? Like, can a single parent do the job, be successful enough as a parent to overcompensate for not having another parent in their life, and therefore provide a successful foundation? You don't think that's possible?
A woman will never be a father for a child, and a man will never be a mother for a child. And when you look at the success of your child, a child can be successful despite of what you've done. Despite of what you've done. I'll say it again, in spite of what you've done. So that's totally different. But overall, if that child does not have a married household, most likely that child is going to grow up and also have or create a broken household also. So that is not success at all, because part of the learning process of in marriage from the child is living in a household with a mom and dad, and being able to see the dynamic between the mom and the dad, and understand that sometimes mom has her little attitude, sometimes the dad has his little attitude. He don't want to talk, she don't want to talk, and they and he or she can actually grow up seeing the dynamic between the parents, because nothing's perfect. Okay, sometimes mom be on her stuff, sometimes dad be on his stuff, but they still love each other. And I see how they still love each other. That is the thing that a child is learning. They're learning the dynamic between a man and a woman. The typical woman, let's just say in the black community, because it's white women too. The typical woman, if she's raised by only a woman and no father, and the father was never around, she has literally no understanding of how men think, because there's no man around. Growing up, most of her teachers, or all of her teachers, are going to be female. And the first time she actually gets an understanding of how men think is not when she starts dating 17-year-old, because they're not men. They're little boys. They run around doing stupid stuff. They don't know what they're doing either. Probably until she goes to college. So we as men, we don't usually have to deal with this because we grew up being exposed to a woman, which is our mother, right? So we have a better understanding of the female species, male species, female species, than women do because we grew up around our mom. But women grow up with this fairy tale thought process of men because they have to figure out what men do or who men are in some type of way because there's no man around. And it's a disservice to any young woman when she's raised by a single mother. Because like I said earlier, a woman or a man alone cannot be successful at raising a child because the child needs their other parent. Now, if the other parent is really around and she's a single mother, that's a different story. And you did say that. So yeah, if the dad is like really in the child's life, yes, that could be success. Mm-hmm. But if the dude ain't around or the mom ain't around, no, because they're going to have daddy or mother issues.
You know, I think that most people will agree with what you just said in this point, in the fact that having a mom and dad in the house together, both in a positive way, they're positive together, it's positive energy, is the best mixture for a child. Everybody, I think, will agree with that, right? Mm-hmm. But then you'll still have people, and in this case, women, who will say, nah, dude is dead wrong. Why do you think that women are pushing back and resisting what you're saying?
Okay, so let me tell you something that Tasha K said to me, because I went on her show, and, you know, women were in comments like, he did it, right? This is what she told me. And she has 1 million subscribers, and she has a very good understanding of, I would say, commenting, right? Commenters. People are going to get in the comments and follow the first commenter to a certain degree. So if one person says, I don't like bald-headed dudes, as an example, right? The next commenter is going to say something about my bald head again. And then they're going to literally, it's kind of like a psychology of commenters. And she told me this, not verbatim, but commenters just simply want to comment because they want to be seen. And not everybody or whatever, because, you know, it's cool. You know, we all want people to comment on our stuff, right? But you can't get caught up in the comments because it's like a child thing in a way. They're going to try to one up each other in the comments. See, our comment section is a community within itself. And when they see one person say something about my shirt, whatever, my eyes or beard, his beard ain't connecting, somebody else is going to start jumping on, oh yeah, look at his beard, look at it. So it's a culture of commenters that is not about me. They're just in the comments seeking attention. They want to have the craziest comment to actually get you to bring it up on the screen and say, oh my God, Tracy said this, look at this. And now everybody is giving Tracy attention or whoever attention. I'm just, you know, saying a name. So I never worry about comments because it's just a bunch of people either sharing their insight, which is dope, but there's always a bunch of people in there just simply like trying to get attention. So they're trying to out comment other commenters. So the worse the comment is, the bigger the chance that they're going to get the attention that they're looking for.
So you're saying it's a comment psychology.
Yeah, I learned that from Tasha K.
You know, I do agree there's a chat psychology. I haven't thought that deeply into it, though. Let me go back to some more questions here. Cass wants to know, ask him if he was raised by a single mother.
Yes.
Raised by a single mother. Cass says, so basically, a woman can't be successful in her career and give love and attention to her child and empower them to be great. Okay, got it.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
If she's a single mother, because while she's all in her career and doing all this awesome stuff, where the heck is a kid? Most likely with grandma or something. So no, absolutely not.
Okay.
That woman requires a husband or a new husband Like I said, my ex-wife went and got a new husband, and boom, our kids are great. So our kids have 2 dads. So just think about how awesome and successful that would be. Instead of having no dad, having 2 dads. So my kids have 2 dads. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I failed because I ended the marriage, but she kept the success going on because she got remarried. So she has a successful situation because our kids lived with her when we split up, and they grew up not only in a married household with me and her, which was beautiful and great. She also made sure to continue that when she got remarried, and she's happily married now. When my kids, my kids are grown now, but so my kids always grew up in a married household. I would say 90% of their lives.
Okay. All right. Let me process what you just said here. So you're saying, okay. I think so. You're saying that your philosophy is really based upon that 2-parent model.
It has to be.
That's that. You're saying anything less than 2 parents in the household is failure. Period. Even if it's not the biological parent. You're saying that, okay.
Remember, I did say get a new car, get a new husband, get a new wife. We have to, instead of just sitting on a curve complaining that we don't have something, get another husband, get another wife, get another car, get another job. Get another plan. We can't start a new business and your business fall apart. We can't run around just making excuses for ourselves when we don't have what our children require of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brian writes, a girl without a father in the house can't have uncles, grandparents, cousins. What the hell? So people are saying, look, maybe dad's not there, but uncle's there, grandpa's there. So he still got a man that loves them.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is there a difference between a father and an uncle?
Yeah.
A huge difference. Okay. Uncle comes through with whatever and takes you to the baseball game. He's not your daddy. Okay. This is what a lot of people love to do. They think having something other than a dad for their child is enough. No. Your child needs a daddy. This is the ridiculous rhetoric that people who have to feel, they feel the need to make excuses for their failures or make excuses for their lives falling apart and their reluctance or inability to change it, which is get another husband. This is the problem. They got to sit around and making excuses on well, what if this? Okay, if you had a job paying $90,000 a year, but now you work at McDonald's, is it McDonald's the same thing? It's not. So an uncle is not a father. A grandparent is not a father. So at the end of the day, I am here, like I said, to end this single mother epidemic. It's an epidemic. It's at epidemic proportions.
Yeah, but why not focus on the single parent epidemic, mother or father?
There's not a single parent epidemic, though. Almost 80% of households are ran by women. See, if
through no fault of their own, though, right? Like most of these women.
Whoa.
But let me just play the other side now. Yeah, let me play the other side because when you weren't here, I played your side. So now that you are here, let me play the other side. So what I've heard and what I see is most women don't want to have a child and raise it by themselves. These women ain't doing that. They're having sex with men and they're thinking that in many cases, this guy's going to stick around and he ghosts them. He leaves.
Why?
For whatever reason. It could be the relationship. It could be them.
Why?
It could be the man. It could be a lot of reasons why. But here's what's happening. So women, they don't want to be single mothers.
Yes,
they prefer for the father to be there, but it just didn't work out. So what are they supposed to do? If they watch your video Okay, so now I'm a single mother. I'm doing the best I can. Dude left. I want him to be here, but he's not here. He left. I'm a failure because I'm trying to make things work for my child.
Okay, I want you to think about it. When I said I had a Bentley, but it wasn't working, what did I say I had to do?
Get another one. Get it fixed.
Get another one. So, ladies, the answer to the question is yes, you are somewhat of a, it's not all your life is trash, like you're a homeless person or something. I'm not saying that, but if you are walking around thinking that you didn't fail your child by not requiring the man who helped you make the child to marry you, and he actually marries you, if you don't think that's failure, you are delusional.
Okay, say it again. I just missed that. I missed that, brother. Say it one more time.
I got to finish this because I'm sick of this mess. Women want to be single mothers. If they didn't want to be single mothers, they would have gotten married before certain things would have happened, which is no condom or no contraception. You got to understand, we are at an epidemic proportion in the beginning of the show that you just said, these women aren't looking to be single mothers. Yes, they are. Like, I don't understand how you can't say they aren't, because if you don't get married, if you don't vet the right man, you ask to be a single mother. Like, if I am broke and I go rob a bank, you can't say, well, he didn't ask to go to jail. Yes, I did, because I robbed a freaking bank. Now, my intentions was to get some money, but I totally understand the 90% chance what's going to happen if I rob that bank. It's not that I'm going to get some money and get away. No, I'm going to go to prison. So did I want to go to prison? Yes, because anybody else would say, well, why didn't you just get a job instead of going that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? So no, the intention may not be there, but the simple thought process of, well, I'm going to do this the wrong way, but when I do it the wrong way, now I'm mad that my life has messed up and blew up in my face. And I got one more thing. Same thing with the whole robbing a bank thing. If I never went to prison, but if I went to prison, right? People would say that I have failed. No matter what I do after prison, I failed because I went to prison. Say I never went to prison, y'all. Say I did 8 years in prison, right? And I came out and I'm like, yo, man, why is it so difficult for me to find a job? Bro, you went to prison. So when women are like, why don't men see us the same way? And I'm a single mother. Because you're a single mother. The same reason why I went to prison, I did something wrong. I didn't do the things the right way. And now I want somebody to show pity for me because I did something the wrong way. And I think it's not fair. The same thing with single motherhood. You purposely went out and had some type of unprotected sex with a man that did not marry you, and poof, you're a single mom. You're part of the 80%. It's an epidemic proportion. If 5 women were single mothers, that's a different story. But 80% of households, or either almost 80% of households, are ran by women. That is an epidemic proportion. That is something that is being done on purpose or either with no common sense. One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Diana writes, what about single mothers that are divorced, my guy? STFU.
Okay. This is another thing that is the weirdest thing, okay? And we all know this because we all file our taxes and fill out applications. There are 3 things on an application. What are they? I'm not even going to add context. What are the 3 things at the top of application?
I'm not prepared for the test this morning, sir. You got to give me
married,
answers.
single, divorced.
Okay.
So something that a lot of women, because I think there's this need to feel included, even when it's bad. Okay. If you've been divorced, you are not a single mother. You are a divorcee. You are a divorced mother. Okay. You did everything you possibly could to ensure that your child has a married, intact household. But just like somebody that lost a leg or, whatever, stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So any married person, their marriage was a failure, but now is up to us to go out and find another husband or wife. But at this particular point, no, you did everything you possibly can to ensure your child has a father in the household. But sadly, because I see this on my page all the time. Well, I'm married. I used to be married. Okay, you're different. And we all know we're different because, like I said, everybody is on our taxes. It's on our application. Married, single, divorced. It's a status thing. Being married, to a certain degree, is like a football team that has won a Super Bowl. You got to go win another Super Bowl. The Atlanta Falcons never won a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions never won a Super Bowl. Those teams will always be looked differently than a team that has won a Super Bowl, like the Rams or Green Bay or Pittsburgh. Ain't nobody running around bragging about the Falcons because they never won a Super Bowl. So when you have won a Super Bowl, even though you didn't win the next Super Bowl as a divorcee, you won a Super Bowl. So you're over here with a different group of people versus people who never got married. Because it's a status thing. Society has levels. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just financial, it's life decision wise. And sadly, women who did not get married and they had kids anyway want to be on the same status as women who are married or who were married. It makes no sense. Now, the Falcons are still an NFL team, but they're not looked at the same level as a Green Bay or LA.
Brother Powell's in the house. He writes, people don't want to admit it, but he has a point. Deadbeats are real. Slow down, sisters, with choosing some of these so-called brothers. There's a few people in the audience, primarily men so far, that are supporting what you're saying. But by and large, the ladies ain't feeling it.
Because the women are the single mothers. Nobody wants to, like, if we were talking about, like, back to the jail stuff, if I was on here saying being a convict is a failure, and it was a whole bunch of dudes that went to prison, they'd be like, what is wrong with this dude? He don't understand the struggle. I was young, What's wrong? Get this dude out of here. It would have been the same thing because there's a whole bunch of dudes who went to jail. But the dudes who didn't go to jail be like, he has a point. So the single mothers are typically simply taken up for their own mistakes and be like, you're judging us. Well, we have to be more judgmental. So, because the thing about it is, ladies, if your mom, aunt, family shunned you or made you feel a certain kind of way when you had your first baby, because a lot of these ladies have 2 babies out of wedlock, not just one. When you had your first baby by a loser, because most women, their first child is by a loser. Most. If they looked at their
is that a statistical fact somewhere?
Actually, no, it's not. But I've been coaching and talking and just being in this but in this social media world with women and talking to women. It's really easy to understand that most women, they always have the same, not all, but they always have the same story. Well, I was young. Okay, what happened to your second child then? Well, I was young too. 10 years later, you didn't learn from your first mistake. So women aren't learning from their own mistakes. They just keep making the same mistakes over and over again because nobody's judging them. So if more women, because y'all always run around saying, why don't he help men? Women need to help women. Well, women aren't holding women accountable. Like, are you familiar with Ayanna Benzant? Real quick.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you know why she retired?
No, I didn't
she
know.
Was getting death threats by women.
Is that right?
Anybody in the comments can vouch for that. She got sick of the death threat. She literally said, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm too old to be dealing with this stress. I've been dealing with these death threats for years. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. If y'all don't want to change, her job specifically was to break the family dysfunctional pattern. That's what all she said. And every time, virtually every show she had, who did she have on the show? Sisters. The grandmother, because it starts at the top. The grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. Now, how many times have you seen it when it was one woman versus three women on her show?
A few times, but I get your point, though. I think you're right.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It was always the grandmother, the mother, because her job is to what? Break the pattern. There's a pattern that needs to be broken in the 90% family structure of women that is Black people. 90% of Black families are full of women. There's a reason for this. And it's partly because of the Willie Lynch letter.
Brother, where can people find you online if they want to follow you?
Okay, so you can find me at IAM_Mr. on Instagram, IAM_MRLETGO, because some people type in whole Mr. Or either or either YouTube, which is Mr. Let Go, MRLETGO. And those are my main platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is Mr. Let Go, also MRLETGO. But the main place to find my content is on YouTube, Mr. Let Go, and on Instagram, IAM_Mr. Let Go.
What's your YouTube journey been like? Let's step away from that conversation. I want to talk to you as a creative real quick. Okay. What's your YouTube journey been like? How long have you been on YouTube? And have you seen success? What are your goals?
Okay, so my Instagram page was totally deleted, and I had like 88,000 followers. And I'm happy to say that I started my new Instagram page up to I'm at 12,000 followers now. So that's part of the journey. But because YouTube is still actually new. I've only been on YouTube for a year and a half, and the YouTube journey has been amazing. But I pulled away from YouTube for a minute because it was so toxic. It's two sides to YouTube. It's a whole bunch of women who just like, oh, these men are this, they're trash, they're the reason why this and that. And then you got a whole bunch of men who's like, these women, they're trash and they're this and that. And I'm in the middle. I don't like neither one of them. I don't like none of them folks on YouTube. Like, because it's like so toxic, because if you just look at what they're doing, and what they're saying, I can understand why somebody would look at me and say, oh, he's just one of those trash people on YouTube, because I get it. Now, there's some great folks like Tony Gaskin, like it's some great folks on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, that are really helping their community. But overall, I had like a great year and a half just starting on YouTube. But for a minute, I had to get over the fact that it's so toxic. And I don't like using the word, but YouTube, man, they be doxing. It's just all kinds of crazy stuff that go on YouTube. But yeah, it's a great journey. It's all been a great journey. Just being a coach, I actually coach women, and that's an amazing journey.
Kamika writes, dude has no facts. Iyanla never said she was getting death threats from women.
I didn't say from only women. This young lady has the problem because this is something that women love to do. And you can vouch for this yourself. Women love like making up words when a man said something. If I said I'm going to go to the store, you're going to turn around and say, oh, you're going to go to the store and get your car fixed or something. Oh, you're going to go to the store. And I didn't say that. I said I'm going to go to the store. So women love like regurgitating what you said in some type of opposite way. It is what it is.
Daniela writes, what if more men treated their women better? Why do you keep talking about the women only?
Well, if more women let's talk about this real quick. Women love to say, well, why don't men do this? Or what if men treated women better? Because there's a word called standards. Okay. Like any job, any company, even a gas station. If you walk in a gas station with no shirt on, the person goes like, you can't come in here. Like you go in there with a gas station with no shoes on, sir. No, you can't do that, right? So even a gas station has standards, right? So at the end of the day, the reason why women are not being treated well by most of the men that she dates, because if you've been treated like crap by one man, you wouldn't be on here talking about what if men treated women better. If you are getting treated by men, badly by men over and over again, that is one, your choice of men, which means your standards are low. And if the men aren't, having a certain amount of requirements, like, okay, I require marriage before the condom comes off, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you get. Like, work at a job, right? And you're like, I don't like this job. Okay, I go to find another job, right? And say I'm just lazy. Well, that next job, the old job may put up with my laziness because I've been there for a while, like in a relationship. But if the next job and the next job and the next job and the next job, every job I look for, they have these requirements and they have a level of standards. I got to look at myself and say, yo, I got to raise my standards. I mean, I have to be a better man or I'm not going to be able to find another job. So as women go, if all of you raise your standards and start requiring marriage, within 2 years, not requiring you to marry me now, just have that as a requirement, just like a job, just like a car dealership. You go to a car dealership, your credit got to be this, right? You got to have this amount of income or you're not going to get a car. But so everything on the planet has standards and requirements, except for women. So that's what the problem is. I can't just go buy a car because I like the car. I can't go buy a house because I like the house. I can't just go get a job because I like a job. Well, no, they have to like you back. And it's not just them liking you back. You have to live up to their standards and offer what they require. So according to what I'm seeing here and according to what I've seen in different places, women are the only entities on this planet that don't have standards and requirements. And then they get mad when things don't go their way. Is that what's going on?
Didi wants to know, he acts like you can go husband shopping and pick one off the shelf like we do brands of toilet tissue. So I think her point is valid though. Mr. Lego, what she's saying is, okay, yeah, there's some single mothers out there. The biological father didn't work out. They looking for a man to come in and be a husband to them and be a father to their child. But they ain't finding nobody that meets their standard.
Well,
they're not finding them.
Well, it's two sides to this, right? One, I don't think they have the standards that they saying they do. But if they did, it will have to be something within them. Because like I said, my ex-wife went and got another husband. So like it's doable. She went and got another husband 2 years after our divorce, or 2 years after we split up. 2 years later, she back married. She been married for over 15 years. 15
but
years.
What people would say? They would say to that, she was blessed and lucky.
No, she wasn't.
She found somebody. She was blessed and lucky to find somebody that met her standards to where she was in her life.
No.
Other women are looking for that too. They just haven't been as lucky to find that guy.
Let me tell you this. Me and my ex-wife had a friendship, right? It wasn't a tumultuous it wasn't child support. It wasn't. No, we were a great family unit, even though we weren't together no more, right? No sex. We were great friends. My ex-wife, one, she got remarried because she was married before. So to any woman out there who has been married before, you're more marriageable because somebody wanted to marry you. All right. So that's the first thing. She was more marriageable because she was not a single mother. All right. Just like a man would be more employable if he did not go to prison. So it's the same thing. Don't get mad at me. It is what it is. You're in prison or you're a single mother, you're going to have more of an issue in getting the next job or the next man. It is what it is. You did this to yourself. But unless it was forced, because some women are single mothers because of something that was forced upon them. But most, that's not the case. But I just have to say that. But at the end of the day, it isn't like shopping for toilet tissue. Of course not. But does it take, like for me, I've been dating, right? I've had women that I was close to marrying, but things, family life, different things. Once you actually start vetting somebody in a dating world for marriage, to me, my requirements and my standards are high. So my standards are like up here, or either the woman's standards, because it's not just me. I've been dumped by women or whatever. But overall, if the woman doesn't live up to my standards, I'm not going to marry her. So you could say I'm looking for a wife, right? And I haven't been married for, I think about 11 to 15 years or something like that. I don't even know how many. I would say 15 years, maybe 20. I haven't found a wife. Right. So no, it's not easy like buying toilet tissue. I understand that. Right. But at the end of the day, what I don't do is make excuses for myself. I'm actively looking for a wife. You know what I mean? But I took 2.5 years off of dating. So I didn't date anybody to build my business, to get therapy, to do whatever it is that I needed to do within myself in order to be prepared for what I actually want. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of these women and men who say it's not easy getting married, well, you're making an excuse, because I haven't got remarried in 20 years, but I'm not going to sit here and say, it's not easy. I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to keep moving. But the work is within yourself, because when you become a great person, you're going to attract great people.
So you're saying, wow, man, the women ain't gonna like that. It sounds like what you're saying. It's all on the individual. It's all on the woman. If she's not attracting great people, it's because she's not a great person. I gotta tell you, bro. I know we're speaking in generalities, but there are some exceptions to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I know you're speaking generally, and there's exceptions to every rule, but there's women out there, man, that if you want to say have learned their lesson from maybe a first time experience, their standards are high, and they've got a child, they're doing their best, and they just haven't met a man who they feel can really sit by their side and really bring to the equation. They open to it, they just ain't found them.
They're not doing the best, because if they would have did their best, they would have got married. So they're not doing the best. I need y'all to stop lying to yourselves. You didn't do your best because you would have gotten married. So that's the first thing. You didn't do your best. And at the same time with that, going back to the car dealership or getting a mortgage, right? The last 7 years, they're going to look back and see what you've been doing. But when you are a single mother, you don't expect nobody to look back in your last 7 to 10 years and see what you've been doing. Do you see the disparity here? When you do multiple things the wrong way, the opposite sex, just like a job, just like a car company, a mortgage company or a bank, is not going to want to mess with you, or they're going to put a lot of stipulations on you. Like, because you can buy a car with bad credit, but you're going to have a high interest rate, or you're going to have to put a whole bunch of money down. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the world operates in a particular way, but single mothers want the world to operate in some type of fictitious Disney type of way. And my point is this, because I'm not here to make women feel bad. I'm here to let you know that what you've done to yourself is a part of failure, and to sit down with your daughter and keep her from being a single mother. I'm here for the kids. Remember, I'm here to end the single mother epidemic so our children can actually learn from their dad and their mom instead of just their mom. And once we do that, we can actually start cleaning up our communities. And that's the bottom line.
Dale writes, according to his logic, my mom had me at 14, so she's a failure. FOH. I grew up to not have not one but 2 degrees and holding my own. So what do you say in that situation? Single mother raises a child goes on to become LeBron James or to be a successful entrepreneur. How could that be failure when success came out of it?
I said before, because that's the thing. I said this, and you already know I said this when I say it. I said those people became successful in spite of what they went through. Tupac, all these rappers, they grow up in the hood. How they end up in the hood? I remember one time Tupac said, God put us in the hood. I'm like, no, your mama put you in the hood. What are you talking about? See, nobody wants to look at single motherhood as a failure. They always want to sit here and blame God. No, God didn't put you in this bad neighborhood. Your mom put you in this bad neighborhood. Your dad put you in this bad neighborhood because it's mom and dad. Because at the end of the day, if you're on government assistance, how you get there? If you got 3 kids, 3 different dudes, how you get there? If you got bad credit, how you get there? At the end of the day, we have to be responsible for our own decisions. If you are, I said this. I did a video on Instagram. I said, there are no good men out here, right? And I want to agree with the women. I know it's difficult because there are no good men out here. What has happened is there are only trash men and exceptional men. There's no in between. Okay. So what happens in the life of a woman? She thinks she's a good woman, right? But the good woman, the only man she can get is the trash guy, right? I'm not saying a trash worker, a guy who's trash, right? So what happens is she thinks she's a good woman. She's made some mistakes. She has some weight gain or whatever, right? She's going to have to deal with a trash guy instead of the exceptional guy because it's just simple life, just like with the Bentley. Typical person can't get a Bentley. You can whine and complain all you want to, but you're not going to get a Bentley until you raise your status. Because it's one thing about standards, but it's another thing about status. You got to raise your emotional and physical status up to get that exceptional man and keep that exceptional man. Because a lot of women have had sex with exceptional men, but they're not, But at the end of the day, there's only trash men and exceptional men. And if you want an exceptional man, you have to focus on yourself, get the therapy you need, focus on, getting your body right, getting in the gym, whatever it is you got to do. Because I got to get in the gym. I'm not perfect right here. You know what I'm saying? So if I want an exceptional woman, I was on a bike yesterday. I got to keep upgrading myself. Because in order to get the Bentley, you got to have the great job or the great business before you get the Bentley. And ain't nobody going to sit here and feel sorry for you because you ain't got no Bentley. No, go get the little Toyota Camry or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. A lot of women they want Toyota, they want Bentleys instead of Toyota Camrys because Toyota Camrys keep breaking down on them.
Cash writes, so by your own definition, sir, you fall into the trash category. So why are you coaching women as a trash man? ? You know how it gets. You know the world we live in.
Okay,
it's gonna get personal.
Oh yeah. I'm cool with that. I'm ready for the. Why are you a coach? I'm ready for that. So, one, I'm somebody that cares because at the end of the day, I don't see any other coaches out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. I'm somebody that actually cares because whatever it is that you do, if it's not your passion, I don't know what you're doing. So the first thing is I'm somebody that cares. All right. The second thing is I'm not the trash man, and I don't know where you got that from. I got married. My kids are grown. You know, they're doing what they supposed to do. And at the end of the day, I have no understanding of what she sees as far as I wanted to trash men. I wanted exceptional men. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So exceptionalism is in the eye of the beholder. But that particular person doesn't know me. So I'm not judging off of her because she doesn't know me. She probably just seen me today. But overall, I'm one of the exceptional men. But it could be somebody that may say, "No, you trash." I don't know. But at the end of the day, until somebody that knows me comes into these comments and says that I'm one of the trash men, I'm an exceptional man.
Somebody wants to know, what do you think about Kevin Samuels? Somebody says you're in the Kevin Samuels sandbox.
No, I'm nowhere. It's offensive to put me and Kevin Samuels in the same sentence.
Really? Okay.
I have no problem with Kevin Samuels, but we're not the same people. Kevin, this ain't about Kevin because I don't care. You know, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to diss him, nothing like that. But at the end of the day, Kevin Samuels was doing some about some cologne. He was a cologne connoisseur or whatever.
Yeah, he's doing fragrances and stuff like that.
Yeah. Then he started holding men accountable or whatever. And then out of nowhere, he started doing something with women. I've been doing what I've been doing for 4 years. And Kevin Samuel blew up because of his sensationalized content. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I don't really want to blow up like that because a guy actually, let me tell you something. A guy that has, I think, 300,000 subscribers. He has brand deals and stuff. He went out and hung out with Kevin Samuels for like a weekend, and they walked around talking to women in Vegas, right? 2 days later, he lost his brand deal because he was hanging out with Kevin Samuels. See, two names are insults in our community that I never want to be in any kind of association with. Derrick Jackson and Kevin Samuels. Those are insults. You already know that because some people are like, oh, he's Derrick Jackson, which is an insult. Oh, he's Kevin Samuels, which is an insult. I never want to be associated with either one of those men because they are literally insults to other people. When you say you're this and that, that's an insult. You know, that's almost saying like you're trash by saying that. And the intention of people saying you're like Kevin Samuels is trying to say that I'm trash. So no, I never want to be associated with either one of these dudes because their names alone are insults to people. People use their names to insult other people. So no, I am not, because like I said, I'm a coach and I've been coaching women for years and I'm very good at what I do. And I don't need any of y'all to join my coaching group or anything. You know, it doesn't make a difference to me. But at the end of the day, I'm in my community helping women and men because I coach men also, but I have a coaching group that is women. So I'm popular because of the coaching group I have, but I also coach men. I just don't have a male coaching group. And I actually I tried a male coaching group and it just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't get it off the ground and I would have no problem starting another male coaching group. But I am a coach versus these other men not being in their communities doing anything. They're not in their communities. They're not literally like, we go through book after book after book after book in my coaching community. You know, we went through adult children of emotionally immature parents. We went through the book Attachments. We went through the book. The book we're going through over now is called Motherhood. So we're literally operating like school, you know, because it's not about me. I'm not the guru or nothing. I'm a facilitator of this group where we're actually learning from books, all of us. I'm going through the book, they're going through the book, and then we're coming together discussing what the book says. You know, I have a certain amount of principles. I have a certain amount of things that I offer to the ladies or to the men that I actually do one-on-ones with. But overall, I get everything I get from books. I ain't this cologne connoisseur or this dude that sits around in my car and just be saying stuff. I actually do and live what I actually talk.
Sister Iris says that she says, stop, please. You are harming women with your thought process, your judgment, and incorrect analysis. She says you're harming women.
I don't care. Not that I don't care about harming women, but I don't care about her comment because that's her opinion. See, the thing about it is we all have our, like I said, if right now, if anybody in this chat knows me, please stand up. These people don't know me, so I don't care what they say. Because like I said, it's just comment psychology. They just want to say the most crazy thing in order to show up on your screen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what this woman says. She doesn't know me. But like I said, if somebody in the chat that knows me, please stand up and say that I'm trash or say I'm this. Please stand up. These people don't know me. And so what I'm saying. So I'm not saying I don't care about of course, my community. I don't care about her comment. Like, people have the right to say what they want to say, Well,
Mr. Let Go, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's been quite interesting hearing your viewpoint on this, man. Let's stay connected, brother.
No problem. No problem. I would love to do this again. You come on my platform. Yeah, I'd love this.
Absolutely, man. Hey, have a great rest of your day, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
Most def. That's I am Mr. Let Go. And he said, just search for Mr. Let Go on all the platforms. And when you see his face, that's who it is. Brother's doing this thing on YouTube. Very interesting. Whoever made the connect, and I'm not even sure who it was, but one of the choppers made the connect. Thank you so much. You were sharing it. You shared it to him. He reached out to me. I'm like, man, let's make this happen. I tried to make it happen on Friday. That would have been ideal. It just didn't sync up. And then I didn't even do a live stream on Friday. But here we are on Monday. And wanted to get his thoughts in, and pretty much what I thought. When I was sort of like channeling him on Thursday, I had never talked with the brother. I was just basing on that video just to stir the pot, like I said, to keep the conversation going. And he just got a strong, basic, fundamentalist view that it takes two parents in the household, male or female. But in his opinion, he thinks that he sees it as an epidemic of female-led households. And, that's what he feel like his purpose is. So, there it is. There were people in here who were saying that the brother was preaching, that he was on point. Elijah said constructive criticism. That's what, Brian's cracking up. Y'all hilarious, man. And Jenny's not happy. She's not happy at all. But, what I appreciate is somebody who can, articulate their opinion. That's his opinion. In my opinion, I'm down for anybody's opinion as long as they can articulate it. Tell me why you feel the way you feel. That's what the brother feels like. Now, let's back this up now. He was speaking in some sweeping generalities. We know that there's exceptions to every rule. We got that. We all grown folks. We understand how to keep the conversation going. But at the same time, we can generally agree on some basic tenets that help keep the conversation going. But how many people disagree with his basic argument, which is that mom and dad need to be in the household? Not mom and mom, not dad and mom. He was very specific. Mom and dad, positive relationship, giving positive culture inside the household. That's the optimal and what everybody should aspire to if you're going to have kids. Can we all agree on that? Don't hit me with but my mom was a single mom and she did a fantastic job. I think he spoke to that. He said the reflex is that everybody wants to protect their position. Like, how, like you said, I think he used the example he used was like if he was an ex-con. What I'm saying? If you start talking about being an ex-con as a failure, all ex-cons are going to say, well, now, wait a minute now. I learned how to read in the joint. I learned how to play chess. And now I'm an entrepreneur, right? But if you never went to the joint, you're going to be like, yeah, that would be a failure because it interrupts the life. That's the point he was trying to say about, single mothers who may have been screaming the loudest on some of this. I'm just making a point here so we can keep the conversation going. And he says, go out there and get you a new dad, which I don't know if it's that easy. It's not that easy. I know plenty of single women and have known plenty of single women who would have loved to have be in a relationship with a man. The man comes in, he's a stepdaddy, bringing positivity, bringing all that positive man stuff. They just can't find the Negroes. They can't find them. You know, it ain't worked out. Not everybody's that lucky, right? Sometimes you just keep meeting Gilligans. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then sometimes you can sometimes you can meet the right one, but it's the wrong time. Sometimes it's the right one, but they got issues they got to work on first, and then it's not good right then. It's just that relationship thing is so damn complicated, man. It really is. It's so complicated. But if that's true, how many people, after hearing from him, how many people have changed their opinion? How many people have changed? Because I know some of y'all was like, hated him, I ain't feeling it, zero. But now you heard from the man himself. How many people, are there any women out there that can agree that he's saying some truth? He's saying some truth? I don't know. You tell me. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You tell me. Crystal writes, thank you, Nate. Goodbye. Okay. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yo, good morning. It's Donnie B.
Hey, what's up, Donnie?
So first off, I want the old Nate back. Where's Nate from last week? The pushback on my points, and then this dude comes on the show, and you sitting there just letting him go off on this rant, and you didn't call him on the carpet for that BS? You ain't think that anything he said was BS?
I mean, I brought up the points I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
Stop it. You was me. Where's the Nate that we know? I'm like, where's the Nate from the Chop Shop? Who was this today?
Same.
I'm like, shoot. I'm like, you trying to be polite because this is his first time on the show. Oh, that's cute. Blow that dude up. Like, stop it. So, no, seriously. So here's the problem I have. A broke clock is right at least one time a day. So there's nuggets of truth and snippets of good points in his BS. So the folks are like, oh, he's deep. No, stop it. The dude is what I call smart dumb. So he comes on the show and he says that basically if you break up, then you can't make excuses. You got a responsibility to go out there and find a new spouse to come into the home to replace the one that's gone, or you're a failure. And then he says that him and his wife got a divorce. It's 15 years in a running, and you don't have a new stepmom in his house for his kids. So I'm like, my guy, so basically by your own definition, you are a failure. Stop. That's one. Number two, I'm like, to say that, oh, well, if, you meet a dude and he ends up being a loser, that couldn't have been your first time. I don't have a long line of loser ex-boyfriends. Where's he getting that from? People can meet one guy that can be terrible. That doesn't mean they got a whole list of terrible ex-boyfriends front and back. Like, dude, everything you say, like, there's no, I didn't even call in because like, this dude is not even worthy of me calling him to talk to him and have a meaningful dialogue, because he basically has unresolved mommy and daddy issues, and whatever therapy that he took, he needs to continue. He don't need to coach nobody or nothing. Like, his viewpoints were so skewed. First of all, this whole, a Camry. Well, Camrys are the most reliable cars in America. So let's stop with all the trade show car analogy. Like, where was he even going? I feel like he's one of those dudes where if he talks long enough, he hopes that something sensical spills out. And I can't even waste my time going through the laundry list of things that were wrong with his commentary just to say the next time, if there's a next time he comes on a show, you better act like the Nate that we know and stop fronting and get that dude the business when he calls the BS. And it was exactly like I said, Nate. He did not make the point that you made, which was the ideal situation is a two-parent healthy home. Had he done that?
He did make
No, he didn't stop there. He went beyond that and said that anything else is a failure. And when you tried to walk him back and say, well, what about if it's toxic, then, and it's a good thing to get out, and he challenged you and was like, no. Then you tried to be like, well, what if this, what if that? And every common sense approach that you tried to give to this dude's point, he actually rejected it from you. You didn't hear him? When you was like, well, what about the dude? It can't be the women. He was like, no, it's the women. You ain't hear him?
Oh, yeah, I heard him.
You was like, well, it ain't all single moms. He was like, no, yeah, it's all single moms. Every out you tried to give this dude to help him, he rejected. So I'm back where I was last week. You inferred a lot more positive spin on what he was saying than what that dude really meant. He said he came on the show today and said what he meant, which was that single mothers choose the wrong men, and they are failures when there's not a father in the home, and we need to go out and get another one expeditiously. And if we don't, we are a failure. And if we can't find one, then we're making excuses about there being a lack of good men, and it must be something wrong with us. But then this dude made excuses about why he been single for 15 years because he can't find a woman to meet his standard. That dude is trash. Intellectual garbage. He ain't even ready to talk to me. He do. That's all I got. Intellectual garbage.
All right, Donnie. Thanks for the call.
Right.
I appreciate it. Oh my God, that's so much fun. So much fun. Appreciate the call. No, I mean, I didn't know what he was going to say about the things that weren't in the video because that's when I became aware of the brother. So I was only commenting on that. But no, I mean, pretty much hit the nail on what I thought he was trying to say. He just got a very, and it also, the one thing I didn't realize is he does have a gender, it is a gender basis to his philosophy, you know, because as he sees the world, there's an epidemic of single mother-led households. Now, is that facts? We have to look at the Pew Research Center and check the census data. I don't recall. But if that's facts, maybe the brother has a point. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe he's completely out of point. He has no point whatsoever. As Diana called him, intellectual trash. Is the brother intellectual trash? Now, we'll say he's backstage, so he's still listening and partaking in the show a little bit. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. Sir, I got to give it to you. Another great guest. I like the direction that the 2022 Nathan Ivy show is going. And shout out to the Chop Shop Esquire, Donnie B. Shout out to Strong Black Women. Shout out to single moms. It ain't easy. But Nate, again, the statistics do not lie. I appreciate, Mr. Ivy, that you did not attack that brother like you would have attacked me if I would have came with the same point of view.
I've never
so
attacked
Donnie
you,
B.
brother. I've never attacked you.
Oh, come on, Nate.
Iron sharpen iron. I just can't have my little bra here looking and sounding crazy. I got to sharpen you up. That's it.
Mr. Ivy, I wish I could see your face right now. I don't even want to turn TV on, but I can't wait to watch this replay because Donnie B, she said it. She said, "Oh, Nate, I can't believe you. You was being all nice," because she was talking about me. She should have just said, Donnie B, I know you wanted to say it. I know you wanted to say, if that was Gospel 52, Nate, you would have let him have it. But again, Nate, hey, man, I just got to tell you, I like the direction your show is going. Another great guest, and you treated him just like you were supposed to treat a guest. You wanted him to get his points out. You wanted your audience to react. And now you are listening to the aftermath of another great show. And again, Nathan Ivy, I liked your post on Saturday. You gave us a little tease of what was coming today, this morning. And again, you knocked it out of the park, sir. So I just wanted to give you a shout out. And I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Let Go. If he's still out there, I tried to find him on Twitter because, you know, that's where I mess. That's where I hang out. So, I didn't hear him give his Twitter address, but if you can, have him post it in the Chop Shop. Because Mr. Ivy, again, sir, applause and shout out, again, shout out to all the strong black women who are raising these kids by themselves, whether they be single or divorced. Because my daughter is one of them. She's raising a son. She's a single mom by her choice. She's a professional. But again, Mr. Ivy, the man was 100% correct, and the statistics do not lie. Thank you, Mr. Ivy, for taking my call. And again, make sure you treat me in the future like you treated Mr. Let Go. No, I'm just playing, Nate. But anyway, great show for a Monday morning, Mr. Ivy.
All right.
And
thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
That's my little brother right there, Drop. He's older than me, but I'm the big brother. Got to look after my peoples here. I ain't never attacked you, man, ever. I don't have to attack people. I just ask questions, but I don't attack anybody. unless you attack me. If you attack me, I give you the same energy. But other than that, I don't do that. Not at all. But you're right. I wanted the brother say what he had to say. I wanted you to hear what he had to say, and I want to get your reaction. So, from what he had to say, it's very interesting. So, for those of you that saw the initial conversation we had on Thursday, I know you formulated opinion. Now you heard from the brother himself. Do you have the same opinion? Did it change your opinion? Do you feel more the same way? Donnie B even admitted, in all of that, she admitted that there was some elements, some nuggets of truth. Right? And if one of those nuggets of truth is his basic bedrock philosophy that mom and dad are the best soil for a child. If that's the best soil for a child, then what are we talking about here? Is it just a hard pill to swallow for single parents? If you're a single parent, it's just hard for you to swallow. Particularly if you're a single woman raising children as a parent, is it just a hard pill to swallow when he uses words like failure? Is that what it is? But is it like, at the end of the day, he's actually telling the truth? Again, from my observation, I think there's plenty of women who are in that single mom situation. Some of them want to get married. Some of them don't. Some of them just want to kick it. But for the ones that want to get married, they might be looking, as much as you can look for a man, and they just ain't found Mr. Right. They just ain't found him. They don't want to they've never found anybody who they felt like, hey, was worthy of being the husband, or that they wanted to bring around their kids. But mom still got needs and desires, right? So I get it. Maybe that's what it is. TNT writes, yes, the brother has arrested development. Really? Mika writes, oh, Lord, another one. Jericho writes, as of 2019, there were 15.76 million children living with single mothers as opposed to 3.23 million being raised by single fathers. That seems to say that, and how many of them are in the black community? Lemmy writes, oh, Lord, here we go. Another on the line. So I think she's speaking of dropping BS. Brenda writes, condoms matter. David writes, Nate, there's not enough iron in the world to sharpen left coast garbage. See, y'all wrong about that. Diana writes, yeah, if that was dropped, Nate would have went in. I would not have went in. Unless I had to. Brian writes, Danietta, drops endorsement is the nail in the coffin. Didi writes, we like to say women control the world. Men only do what we allow. Women have the responsibility of bringing life into the world, so we need to have the standards to set the tone on what kind of men we want as fathers in our community. So I can understand why he believes the responsibility lies with the women. Okay, Didi. Are there any women out there who straight up will agree, can admit, or feel, I put it that way, you feel as if what Mr. Let Go said was 100% facts? I'd like to know. Lemmy writes, correct, soil may require a sacrifice of oneself. Didi writes, we need to use the word failed instead of failure. If my child has a child out of wedlock after having taught her to do opposite, she failed the assignment, but she is not a failure. She can change her situation the next time. Perhaps. I think Mr. Let Go is on like Instagram or something, or Facebook or something. I see him in the y'all want to see? I'm not gonna turn his mic on, but the brother's still here. Look. What up, brother? He's still there. I don't know what he's doing. That's cool though. It doesn't hurt anything. Iman writes, Brother Powell writes, everybody knows he has some good points, some strong truths. Some sisters regret their choices of these so-called brothers. That's very true. On some kid. You never regret your kids. And I can't speak for a woman, but let's say from a man's standpoint, you have a child with a woman, but you and her never see eye to eye ever again. In fact, you can't stand her. She tried to do some crazy stuff to you. the uniqueness of who she is gave you the gift of your child. So I think you always going to appreciate that, even if you can't appreciate the parent. You know what I'm saying? So they might be like, damn, this fool. Damn, wish I would have saw that coming. But at least I got a beautiful child out of it. I think it's more like that. That's what I think it is. TNT writes, mom and dad is the best soil, but you don't conclude failure for every situation because obviously a lot of success has come out of single family households. LeBron James, as well as the fact that serial killers and mass shooters have come out of 2-parent households. So marriage is not a guarantee to success. Drop writes, I love the choppers and all the choppers. I love the chop shop and all the choppers. Barbara just coming in. She writes, good morning, good people. Good morning to you, Barbara. And just as you're coming in, we're going out. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. Listen, hopefully you enjoyed the show. I'm going to catch up with Jan Michelle McCurney whenever she is available this week because some really, really pertinent stuff going on. But I double booked it. And then I realized once we started this conversation, I've done this many times before. It was best to keep this conversation. And then we'll have that conversation on another day and we can create some unique energy around that conversation. So check back with you. Never know who we talking to. And I like to talk about people, politics, and pleasure with superlative flows. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all your likes and your shares. We'll be back tomorrow and hopefully better than ever at 8 a.m. your morning destination for interesting conversation. This has been the Nathan Ivey Show. Have a great Monday.